You know, I've said it many times on this channel that the best side effect of anything involving me talking to you guys about games I love are the people that I have met. And one of the best people that I have met is Gary from RoXolid Productions. He is legitimately one of my best friends outside of anything having to do with YouTube. He's just someone that's very, very dear to me and to my family. And Gary would have you believe that he's a curmudgeon and that he's grouchy. But Gary got me something that I have been looking for a very long time. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm talking about a friend of mine, Gary from RoXolid Productions, and the incredible gift he got me. This will probably be a bit of a shorter video. So about a year and a half ago, my friend John from Biddy Kong's Quest actually sent me my Sega Master System. I'd never owned one. I'd always wanted one. It was a GRAIL system that I wanted, but I'd never actually owned. It was something I played when I was younger. My friend Peter owned it. And when I went over his house when I lived in Fall River, it was something that I played there. And I loved it, but I never owned one. And John had a couple, sitting around, not doing anything, so he sent one to me. And I thank him for that immensely. And collecting for the Master System has been one of my favorite things, but I said recently that I wasn't going to be buying any more Master System stuff until I found a particular game for it. In fact, I'd actually kind of put my Master System on the back burner. And I actually bought a game this year at the Midwest Gaming Classic called Zillion. I've played it a little bit, but I put it on the back burner for now until I found a particular game that I've been looking for. And I've gone to 8 other conventions this year looking for a particular game, and I have yet to find it. And this last one I was just at Tour Gaming Expo this past weekend. Video for that will be out on Friday. Thank you very much. And I looked for this game and I couldn't find it anywhere. I found all kinds of other amazing Master System stuff. Like, I really want to get Master System Double Dragon because it's magnificent. And there's a bunch of other games for it I want to get as well. It's weird because Sega is legitimately becoming one of my favorite companies to collect games for. And as much as I love the Genesis and I love the Dreamcast, those are my two of my favorite consoles of all time. Through the kindness of friends, I've added a Saturn and a Master System to my collection over the last year, and I'm able to collect for those now as well. And I curate my collections. You guys know that. I don't just go wholesale and buy everything, which is why this particular game that was sent to me, that I received yesterday from Gary from RoXolid Productions, is so important to me. I've told the story in the past that The Lucky Dime Caper starring Donald Duck is my favorite Sega Master System game. And some might raise an eyebrow at that, because I think in the grand scheme of things, it's probably a very basic platformer. It's very straightforward. You play as Donald, you get some items, and you go left to right, and you have to fight enemies, or jump over them, or jump on them, and collect stars to become invincible, and eventually you get to the end, you have a boss fight, and on you go. You have to get the Lucky Dime Caper back from Magica Dispel, and that's that. And it was something I played when I was younger, and I adored it. And that core memory unlocking where I had really forgotten about it, and I found it on an emulator, and I was like, why is that familiar? What is this Lucky Dime Caper business? And I was actually working on a video with Chris from the Game Dad Show a couple of years ago. We did a video where we talked about every duck game that was ever released starring the Disney Ducks. And this was one of the ones I talked about because it's one of my favorites. And because of Gary, I have it back in my collection, and it's in magnificent condition. The cartridge is pristine, the label is in great shape, the pins, I cleaned them up because that's what you should do for any of your retro games, but it didn't need it. It was immaculate when I got it. As a bonus, but I don't know if you guys can see this too much, but a little bit of writing on the label, and I like that kind of thing. I like knowing the history of a game, and it was cool enough to be able to have the game, but it wasn't enough because it's not just the cartridge that I got. I got it complete in box. It's as complete in box as it can be. I don't actually know all the things that came in the box, but it's a clamshell, a classic Master System clamshell. It does have a little bit of cartoon on the side, which I really like, and most importantly, it has writing on the label. Because this used to be owned by Michael Watson. And Michael, if you end up watching this video, thank you for taking such good care of what is legitimately my favorite Master System game of all time. Even the manual has writing on it. It's got Michael's initials on it. It's actually Michael's initials either way you do it, which is fun for an M and a W. So I grew up a Disney fan. I was a Disney nut from the second I saw Disney cartoons. And I was a huge DuckTales fan. I loved Uncle Scrooge comics. I loved Donald Duck comics. I love Donald Duck cartoons and Uncle Scrooge cartoons, and DuckTales was my jam. And this was a game that my friend Peter's family had sent him from Europe. It was never released in the States. It was a PAL exclusive, or it was a European exclusive game. And I played it at his house, and I loved it. I wanted the game. I loved it so much. I think it's kind of easy to see why, because, I mean, as you're seeing it on screen right now, it looks like a cartoon. I mean, granted, it looks like a 1980s video game version of a cartoon, but when I compare it to something on the NES, the Master System just had richer colors, it had better animation, the sprites were bigger, the worlds felt bigger, the music was alright. Wasn't great, but it was alright. And I loved the game from the moment I saw it to the moment I played it to today. And it was something that I was contented to just play it on emulator. If I never got the game, that was going to be okay. But that wasn't okay for Gary. And I can't tell you how much that means to me, because for him to care enough to go out of his way to pick this up for me, to have it shipped to me internationally, he's just the best. He's such a good guy. And again, he would not want you to hear that. He's a curmudgeon. He's a good person. I got to play this today. I played it for a couple hours, and it's just as hard as I remember. It's just as difficult as it ever was for me, but it's something that I loved, and it's something I'll continue to love, and this is one that will never leave my collection. Now, it's my friend Stuart from Generation Pixel is always says in his pickups, this will be in the collection forever, it's never going to leave the collection. This one, I mean it, this one stays. Not only because of the sentimental value of this being my favorite Master System game, but also because this is such an amazing gift from a friend. And I know to him it's just a small gesture, but to me it's huge, and it's appreciated, and I can't thank him enough. That's Master System content on this channel, which is crazy because I never do Master System content. You should really actually check out my friend Tiger Chainsaw if you want to see some awesome Master System content. He does incredible stuff over there. His channel's blowing up too, man, like going crazy over there, and I'm so happy for him. That's awesome. But I'm hoping to do some more, because now I can actually buy more Master System stuff now that I have my holy grail game for the Master System. And thanks, Gary. I appreciate you more than I can say. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing, and thank you for getting me my favorite Master System game. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Master System game. I know Tiger Chainsaw's is Zillion, and Zillion is definitely an awesome title, and I'm actually really stoked I can get back to it now. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What's your favorite Master System game? There's so many great ones, and it's such an underappreciated console, and at least here in the States. I know down in South America it's not. I think it's still being produced, which is crazy, but yeah, it's a hell of a system. I really dig it, and I'm looking forward to being able to collect a little bit more for it and have that kind of curated perfect library for me. Hey, I appreciate y'all being here. If you are new around here, click that subscribe button. I'd love to have you stick around. If you're a returning viewer, glad you're back. Until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.